Hello, Serious Survivor here. And today, Cyber Polygon 2021 kicks off. I had a comment that was asking about, what is Cyber Polygon 2021? And the comment was a very reasonable comment. Someone had not really heard of Cyber Polygon 2021. And, they were talking about, they discussed this with a lot of their friends, and no one had heard about it. And the reason that no one hears about this is because this isn't something that's talked about on the mainstream media for some reason. And you have to actually dig to find any information about it. I mean, they have a website, the top financial leaders in the world. It's being sponsored basically or initiated by Polygon, a Russian cybersecurity firm. And there are over 120 organizations, public and private organizations throughout the world that are taking place in this with thousands of participants. It can be watched in real time with the link below. You can actually watch the live stream. I don't know exactly what they will be showing online, but there is a lot of information that can be gained from watching this. Cyber Polygon 2021 is not an event that's going to cause something to happen. Cyber Polygon 2021 is a training exercise, and that's exactly what they say. It's an exercise. It's like when the military trains for war. This particular exercise is training people to supposedly defend against cyber attacks, but they have two teams, a blue team and a red team. The blue team's going to defend while the red team attacks. So people are training to defend while other people are training to attack. And this is going to increase skills on both sides. I'm sure it will. But as we see, the ones that are defending are already in a weaker position than the ones who are attacking. And we can tell that by all of the cyber attacks that we see happening on a daily basis. And they do happen on a daily basis. We're just not exposed to it through the mainstream media. So I want to read some quotes here. A digital world encroaches on our physical and biological worlds. An effective cyber attack could compromise anything connected to the internet, including medical devices, Internet of Things, which is everything, the Internet of Bodies, an ecosystem of digitally connected humans, global financial systems, energy grids, water treatment facilities, government IT systems, military and defense infrastructure, and more. And Tony Blair stated, the digital ID for me is a very big part of the future. Now that is, the digital ID can be a little concerning. This is something that a lot of people are, against, and myself, I'm against. I understand the premise behind it. I understand the premise of people having an identification so they can identify themselves, and they have a means of identification to make things simpler. But the real question is, why do I have to have identification that would give away identifying characteristics towards me? Now, the digital ID is something that's been coming for a long time, and I do believe the digital currency is coming too. And it's a little talk of that in their own articles for the live stream that's been posted so far today. So I'm going to read off some of the things that they were talking about. Ecosystems, and when they talk about ecosystems, normally we're going to think of, like a plant ecosystem or something. They're talking about cyber ecosystems here. So these are cyber ecosystems. Technological development further strengthens connections between people, organizations, and countries. Governments and businesses are creating ecosystems, large networks of companies and services that spread far beyond national borders and even continents. Such systems are becoming a new gateway to international markets, with local businesses expanding to a global scale. And the questions they're trying to answer here are, will this trend continue, and how to ensure the resilience and safe evolution of corporate ecosystems? The next one is this one. This one is the one that really is a little more concerning than the other one, because the two paragraphs we see here are not the two paragraphs in their agenda that's laid out, and not just their website, but you have to dig for the documents. And once again, I'll be posting links. A digital state of tomorrow. What will it be? Technological processes not only driving the development of businesses, but also entire nations, e-government, and online service aggregators are designed to improve the quality of our life. Is this really, and this is really what gets me, is when they put out statements like this, that this is all designed to improve our quality of life. My quality of life was pretty good before all of this began, but it seems to be decreasing with every new exercise they have, with every new situation we face due to the digital world we live in. Thus, a metropolitan or a metropolis resident can make an appointment with a doctor or consult with a legal advisor through a single window portal. Well, we can already do that. So how is it they propose to make this safer? How is it they propose to make our internet communications, our online, our digital information safer? And that's really one of the concerns here. The cyber Polygon seems to be focusing, if you look back at the 2020 cyberdemic or cyber pandemic that they called it, it seems to be focusing on more what can they do to bring the systems down. It's more of a focus on attacks than it is a focus on defense. And that's obvious because after last year's cyber Polygon, attacks increased by 600% across the board. And I don't like the next question. What is the future of a digital state citizen? What challenges may the digitalization of government structures pose? Will the evolution of ecosystems in both the public and private sectors contribute to economic growth? It will contribute to economic growth for those who already are in that top 1%. It will not contribute to economic growth for those of us who are working everyday jobs, living our everyday lives. What is the future of a digital state citizen? First of all, what is a digital state citizen? The definition of this is cloudy and vague. It's not laid out exactly what they mean by these terms, and believe me, companies and organizations of this magnitude that are putting together these documents that we're looking at, they do not use vague terms that are not defined, at least internally in their organizations. A digital state citizen is a very concerning term for me because this implies basically a one world government. If we look at the next discussion, new world, new currency, how to make the financial system resilient as digital currencies proliferate. And we're seeing a push towards digital currencies. Cash is not going to be around much longer. Really, only tangible goods are going to have value if this truly does happen. A digital currency is not as convenient as it sounds to a lot of people. Some of the people that I've discussed this with are all for it, and some people are all against it, like myself. The digital currency gives the government the new world here, as they say it, and we know that means the new world order, gives them total control over every aspect of your financial life. If everything you do financially is digitized, which most of it is now, you think about this, it's not going to take much of a push to push it on over the edge and simply create a digital currency. Because as we've seen in America this year or the last 2 years, is that people will do what the government tells them to, at least a large percentage of them. Whatever the mainstream media comes online and says, this is going to work for you, this is what you should do, they do it without question. They just fall in line, duck their heads, and do it. But this to them, some people may seem like a good thing. A digital currency, how could that be bad? But they're not taking into the account of why we're even talking about a digital currency here. And that's because of cyber warfare. Digital currency, cyber warfare, the two cannot coexist. With digital currency, the cyber warfare is targeting that right now. These hackers that are attacking these different corporations, different companies, different entities are demanding digital currency as ransom. I want to skip down to another one, and it's called the role of the Red Cross in creating a safe cyberspace. Just like any other organization in the world, the humanitarian projects are reaping the benefits of technological progress. New opportunities help them to fulfill their primary mission, saving lives. Being one of the world's largest humanitarian organizations, the Red Cross, among other things, helps victims of conflict and violence overcome the negative consequences of cyber attacks. I have to be completely honest with you, and this is the first time I have ever heard this or ever read it anywhere. And maybe this is something you've heard about, and please leave in the comments below if you have, because I learn just as much from the comments as I do from the research in my videos most of the time. International regulations on the web. It's necessary, but is it possible? The only way international regulations on the internet or the web is possible is if there's one controlling body that sets rules, laws, and regulations for the entire world. As it stands right now, there is a different set of laws in our country, the United States, as there is in Russia when it comes to, the internet. There's a different set of laws between Russia and China. There's a different set of laws between North Korea and Britain. There's a different set of laws in every country, and that's why we are individual countries instead of states as part of a one world government. The only way international regulations can actually be enforced is if the regulations of each country match up to that, because you can't really prosecute a citizen of a nation for breaking a law that's not illegal in their country. So Cyber Polygon 2021 is not the event. And what I mean by that is this Cyber Polygon, just like the last one, is not actually going to do any damage. It's training people to do the damage. It's looking at the infrastructure and seeing where the weaknesses are. This is probably the best exercise they could ever perform to know how to cyber attack, to shut down the grids, to shut down any part of what they want to shut down. And as we saw with the previous Kaseya attack, that one attack can affect thousands of businesses, which in turn affects millions of people. So think of what 10 attacks can do. Hundreds of thousands of businesses and billions of people. It doesn't take a million hackers all gathered in one location hacking a million different things. It takes a few hackers hacking the largest systems. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we have seen cyber attacks progress to. This is something we need to keep an eye on, and we need to make sure, spend all of our extra money on prepping with supplies, prepping with food, prepping with keeping your vehicles full of gas. You got gas cans, fill them up, because that's going to be one of the first things to go when this does happen. So thanks a lot for watching. God bless. And for now, Serious Survivor, out.